Are we a minute early?
And we're live.
All right. Well, welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. What's up?
There's still a minute countdown on my end.
Just let people join.
Okay. Still a minute countdown here. I'll check here. If you guys can hear me, welcome.
It might be loading.
Oh, look at that. And oh, there I am. We're live. Hey, we heard you saying we're live, Peter. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to Blade HQ. Hope you had a good weekend. We're trying to get the chat set up here, so I'm going to pull you out on my phone real quick so I can keep up in the meantime. But this should be a fun live. We have a ton of new knives today. Some weeks we get a lot of new stuff in, and this was just a great week for that. Man, we got a lot of people in here already. Dragon, I can hear you, George. Dragon, I can hear you, buddy. Thanks for joining us again.
Right, George, we're cooking.
We're cooking. Great. We're going to have the stream up here. Oh boy, there's myself pulling out my phone. Yikes. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know how much of a delay there is. Maybe 8 seconds of a delay. So that's why when we do the giveaway stuff, we get 8 seconds of a delay. So you type and then I anticipate watching to see who won. Okay, there's our chat.
You want your mouse?
Yes, please. Here, I'll come grab it. Thank you, Sarah. All right. Let's see some cool new stuff. Pete Richards, I got a lot of it. How are you? Walid Art, I'm doing great. How you doing? Ivan Nikolov, hello from Bulgaria. Woo! Long way away. Free knives? What? Yeah, so normally during new knives we give away a knife, but today SOS Knives is sponsoring our giveaway, and we do not have one, we have 4 knives to give away. So if you want to win one of 4 knives today, I'd stick around till the end. I will tell you, however, they have some rules here. 1, you must be 18 years or older, you must live in the United States, and you must live in a jurisdiction we can legally ship an OTF to. But we'll talk about SOS Knives here in a bit, probably at the end of the video. These are really cool. I'll give you the quick skinny while we're just waiting around to get started. These have this really nice aluminum handle that is fairly sterile. I find that on a lot of OTFs especially, you tend to get pretty heavy branding, especially around this price point. These go for around 100 bucks. But here, it's very subtle, just SOS here, then you get D2 on the blade. But a very smooth action, a very easy to operate action, and I think a very ergonomic handle as well. SOS did a really good job with these, and they want to get their name out there because, frankly, the world of OTFs has a lot of really cheap stuff that you get at malls and whatnot to say, hey, look, I got an OTF, and it sounds like a broken trampoline. And then it has a world of extremely premium stuff, like from Microtech and Benchmade and other fun stuff. But around that $100 price point, there really aren't a lot of great options. And I think SOS is coming in to save you guys, because I know that a lot of you don't want to drop 300 bucks on a tactical OTF, but you also want to get something that you can count on. And I think SOS has something for you there. Very nice indeed. Never participated before, nice to join. Mike W, welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you. Sorry, I saw Jake Plays says, frickin' swickin'. Cool. Hello from Roxborough, Colorado. Colorado dude, man, 2 Colorado boys. Colorado dude, free knife? Yeah, we're giving away 4 of them today in the video. So make sure you're on. So the way it's gonna work is we're gonna hang out with you guys, let some people join up, and then we're gonna go through all of the new knives live. And then I'm gonna pretend you're not existing during that. After that, we're gonna end and we're going to answer whatever questions you may have had. And then we are going to do the giveaway of these 4. We have 4 questions. One of them is just going to be straight up trivia. One is coming from the video that we put out last week. And one is coming from this video. So make sure you're paying attention in the middle of the live, because we're going to be talking about whatever here. I can't tell you which knife it's going to be. But one of the knives here is going to have a piece of information given that you're going to need to remember. And then just focus up for the whole thing, because I'm going to drop a little hint just about the Blade HQ team here that is going to be important for you to win a knife. But 4 of you are going to get one of these sent to you. Now, I will say we may have to do this giveaway again next week, because if people win who we cannot ship OTFs for, we are going to have to do those giveaways again. So, once again, you must be 18 years or older and live in a jurisdiction that we can ship an OTF to. If that does not describe you, I invite you to not enter the giveaway, because we can't send you the knife. Okay. I think we're good to go, right? Yep. All right. Sorry, I'm talking to Peter over here. He's running camera switch. All right, so I'm going to go silent for just a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to be alive and enthusiastic and do a bunch of new knives, get excited, and then afterwards, we're going to do our giveaway. All right, ready? Here we go. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is April 22nd, 2024, and today we have a ton of new knives. It has been a busy, busy week at Blade HQ, and we got a ton of cool stuff. But before we get into that, this week is a special week because it is our spring cleaning sale. We are cleaning out our inventory so that we can bring in all the coolest, newest stuff. Be very excited about that. And it is going to include some serious sales all throughout the week. And today we have the first Desert Warrior sale. This is the Bowie blades. I believe all 3 sizes of these are on sale. So if you've had your eye on a Desert Warrior but wanted to pick it up at a deal, today's the day. So go pick these up at Blade HQ and make sure you're following our email list and social media because there's going to be big, kind of mind-blowing sales coming out this week. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about too many of them, but trust me, you're going to want to see some of these. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about some new knives. Starting with the brand new Chavez Knives Scapegoat Street. So we've seen the Scapegoat before, and it's been a good few years since we saw it, but it's back, and it's better than ever. I'm loving this blade. It's a nice thick M390, and I love the satin finishes they do. And one thing I will say of Ramon Chavez knives is a lot of them will have a compound grind, like on the Tontos and the drop points, which is great. I love a compound grind, but some people like a consistent edge thickness, and they're getting it here on the Scapegoat. A very neutral handle as well, very comfortable, choke up into the choil. This is one of the most usable Chavez knives in my opinion. And then we have that super cool Ramon Chavez signature skull clip. I really like the looks of this. I'm normally not a skull guy, but I think this one's really tasteful. My wife told me a long time ago that this is a tough clip and I'm flabby. So if I lose 50 pounds, I can get a Chavez. I still haven't lost them and I still don't have a Chavez. So maybe I just gotta get my rear in gear and solve this problem. But in the meantime, you can pick up a Scapegoat at Blade HQ right now. Those are going for $300 even. Next up from CJRB, we have some new Hectare models that have a bunch of interesting colorways. This one's the black and yellow. It kind of reminded me of the Wu-Tang Clan, so I picked it because why not? But they have some like blue and purple options and all that. But seriously, the Hectare is a great knife. You can kind of see some bug-out-esque lines in it, and I really do appreciate that style of design. But the important thing here is we have a thumb hole instead of a thumb stud. So, I'll do it this way. So if you're gonna use this, you're not gonna have a thumb stud that's gonna run into something. If you're like cutting an apple, you're not gonna be digging a thumb stud into it. So some people may appreciate that. And I think that this is more of a, I like to use it more of the gravity style knife. I suppose you can kind of flick it if you want, but I do like the Hectare, and I love all these new colors. I will say these new colorways are selling fast. In fact, they might even be sold out now. So if you like these, I'd head over to Blade HQ sooner than later and pick up your favorite Hectare, especially for their incredible price, $47.95. Guys, it is amazing to be in a knife nerd right now because for $50, you're getting a crossbar lock. I want to say AR RPM 9. Yeah, so this is a powder steel crossbar, milled G10, full steel liners. I'm telling you, materials like this 10 years ago would have cost you, I don't know, 100 and 120 bucks. Today, $50. Man, I love everything. Okay, next up from Artisan, we have a Satyr. So we've seen the Satyr before, so we won't talk too much about it. Just a nice full-sized usable EDC knife. And normally it's a titanium frame all the way around with a titanium scale. However, they have this micarta one. And what I love about this micarta is it is raw. So sometimes when they make micarta overseas, as China makes the Artisan, they'll really impregnate it with oils so that when it ships, it doesn't warp, which is really nice. However, they used a very premium micarta here, and then you can't quite see it, but underneath here there's a steel liner reinforcing it, so it's not gonna bend at all, and you're gonna get the raw stuff that you can patina all your own. This is a great knife, S90V, going for $199. Man, I do like this Satyr. This one's Dallas's Satyr. He has a few of them. I keep telling him, you cannot have 2 of what your friend has none of. And he says, oh, but sure I can. My neighbor with multiple Corvettes always said the same thing. Anyway, next up from Zero Tolerance, we have the 0450, and this is a special version. We've got red backspacers on this beautiful fat carbon inlay. I don't know what color this would be. I know there's Lava Flow and Mars Valley. I don't know which one this is. This one's got the orange and the red, and then this Damascus blade. And sometimes Damascus blades, especially on production knives like this, tend to have a random pattern. And I do love me a random pattern, but sometimes it's fun to see something like this where it's just a refined texture, just straight from hilt to tip. I think it looks really nice, and it sort of lends to that. And that way you're getting the complex and unpredictable pattern of the carbon fiber, but then still the premium touch of Damascus, all while maintaining a nice flowy appearance. I very much like that. Some people like the random on random, and we have a knife for you guys. I'll give you a little sneak peek of it right here. That one's that theory we're going to talk about here in a minute. Next up, we have the CRKT Soldatna. So this is a Russ Comer design. He's designed a few of their knives. Most of them have rings on them, like the Bear Claw was a Russ Comer design. Looks like we got some sheath and stuff here. We're trying to keep these as close to new in box as possible. This is made by Tops Knives, and Tops is known for their 1095 steel, which is a carbon steel. So oftentimes with carbon steels, you'll get them and they'll come kind of greasy, and that's because they don't want it to rust in the sheath or in transit. It's to protect the knife, just wipe it off and you'll be good to go, but it's brand new underneath it. So that's what you're seeing here. But the Soldatna is right up my alley. Nice and thin, but a tough steel, so you know you can handle some stuff. A good handle that wants to sit in your palm. I've talked about this especially with the Benjamin 940. In fact, I think I'm carrying mine today. Sometimes with these slim knives, they want to sit in your fingers, but sometimes, I don't know how these designers do it, they want to sit in your palm. And they really did that well here. This knife wants to be in your palm, even though it's a really slim knife. Great ergonomics, it's not going to tire you out holding it. Very nicely done. This one goes for $200, USA made, with this very premium full grain leather sheath and this brass post snap thing. All you leather workers out there know what this thing's called. I don't know what it's called, but you just put this loop through it and it holds the knife in nice and tight. It's a little bit hard to do it to start with, but as the knife breaks in with time, it will get easier. And I'd rather it be hard to start with and then still retain the knife in 10 years. Next up, from Arcform, we have the new Theories. So we've seen the Theory a lot before, but this one is special because we have these carbon fiber inlays. And I don't know exactly what this one's called. I kind of like how it's a minimal thing where you get these little pockets with this gold edge. And then we also have the Purple Haze, and we do love us some Purple Haze. And these ones come with these Damasteel blades. Stainless Damascus that's been etched. It is like mirror polished in those high points. Very pretty, a very complicated knife, and a very expensive looking knife. And honestly, for $490, I don't know that you could really trim the costs any more than that for a knife of this quality, but this thing looks like a $1,000 knife to me, and it feels like one too. They did a really good job. However, if you do like these scales but would prefer just the traditional M390 blade, those are available as well. Those go for $335. But yeah, Arcform's doing a really great job with these. I just love the whole Theory lineup. I have one. I have the black and gray one. It's a great knife. I like it a lot. I especially like the way they flare the handle. So back here, some people will credit this design choice to Mick Strider. I don't know if it was him that came up with it, but you often see a really wide back here. And I like that a little bit, but not too much. And I think they dialed it in just perfectly for this one. Very nicely done, Arcform. Next up, new from Tour Knives, we have the Jankshank S. So I love the Jankshank. I have one. I have the old one. They used to come with a 154 cm blade and be really thick and have a Wharncliffe on them. However, now we have a much thinner blade and the drop point profile on a CPM M4 blade. I love that upgrade from that 154 cm. At least it's an upgrade in my opinion. You are going to lose a lot of stain resistance there, but you're going to get it back in toughness and edge retention. It's going to be a great knife. And I could see this as like an everyday carry fixed blade. That'll open boxes, that'll cut packaging, like all that good stuff. Might be a little thick for slicing apples, but that's okay. But it's still a Tour Jankshank. It still wants to stab stuff. So they did a good job here. Love the M4. Kind of have this G10 with a gray liner on there. Nice little touch. Keeps it slim, cool, tactical, but also a little bit of fun. It's fun to look at. And if it's not cool to look at, like we all eat first with our eyes. Make sure your knives look cool, man. What do you got to say? Those are going for, sorry, there's a lot of knives on this paper. Those are going for $250. Next up, we have the new NAFS Lander 3. So for those of you who have been following the Lander series, it started out with one made by QSP that had, I want to say, a D2 blade, G10, and a liner lock. And then there was the Lander 2, which was made by Kaiser and had their clutch lock, which for those of you who don't know, the clutch lock is really cool. It's an adjustable spring tension crossbar lock. If you like it stiff, you can have it stiff. If you like it not super bad, you can have it that way. And you just have to pop these scales off and adjust that spring in there. Now, that means that they're welcoming you to open the knife. Like pull the scales off and adjust it, and that is the Ben Peterson way. He designed the Lander series to have adjustable scales, and they are, exchangeable scales, and it's open source. So if you've got a 3D printer or a CNC machine or just want to make something up and then have it ordered in, you can do that and make your knife however you want to. The Lander 3 has all those same features, however, it takes the blade steel, which I believe is S35VN, and the clutch lock, and it brings it back down to the size of the Lander 1. And I'll tell you, this is my favorite Lander to date. Very nicely done, and I love this pocket clip. This is one of my favorite things that I wish every knife had. Recessed pocket clip, recessed screws. Clean and smooth all the way into your pocket. Very nicely done indeed. Then we have the gray-handled version as well, but once again, don't take these handles as gospel. There's a million different things going on here, and you'll be able to make a handle whatever you like. Next up on the big side, we have the Fox Knives Oxalos. And this knife, it just feels good. They did a handle that's really nice, and I love how they made this micarta extend up into where this choil area is. Oftentimes when you choke up on a fixed blade, between your finger and your thumb, all you have is steel. But here you have some nice micarta in there, so my finger lands on there. Gives you a really good grip all the way around. Nice indeed. I do like this knife. It's big, it's beefy, it's made of B-cut steel, which is a stain-resistant steel. Think of it akin to D2 with just a little bit extra toughness. I do love it. And then this leather sheath is outfitted from the factory for horizontal carry. And I hear you say, well, is it for right-handed or left-handed horizontal carry? And the answer is both. You got a snap on this side, and I believe you have a snap on this side as well. So no matter how you like to carry your knife, you're gonna be able to do it. So lefties, righties, rejoice. This is a great sheath for you. And these ones go for $175. Next up from Bastinelli, we have the Chopper. So I've been following Bastian Coves a little bit recently. He likes to show off his knives in their extreme cutting power on his channel. Go check out Bastinelli on Instagram and you'll see it. But what I like is he takes his tactical knives a bit of a different direction. They're a bit sleeker, slimmer, faster, dare I say. And look how thin this blade is, made of M390. This G10 handle is super textured but slim. Like this thing is maybe 1/3 of an inch thick. It's nice and thin, but it still locks in the hand really nice and gives you a lot of slicing potential. I don't know the first thing about edged combat, so I won't tell you that I do, but I do know that this knife is cool from a straight up knife perspective. And I could see this being a hunting knife even. Look how deep and slicey that belly is, or maybe even a kitchen knife. Man, he did a good job. And what I love is the sheath. So oftentimes with a Kydex sheath, it's gonna hug the knife pretty high up to make sure you get a positive retention. But look at this, that is just barely grabbing right there, just dink. And it's in there solid, it's not going anywhere, no rattle, no nothing. When you need it, you grab it as you naturally would, and you are all the way to the front of the handle. No repositioning. And I imagine if you are using your knife in a self-defense capacity, seconds means life or death, and tenths of seconds is what means the difference between you getting an upper hand. And this makes sure that you do not have to spend a fraction of a second repositioning your grip once it's out of the Kydex sheath. Very nicely done, Bastinelli. Next up, we have one of our new brands, Rough Rider. So Rough Rider, we may have seen around the knife community a little bit before. They make traditional knives. That's their jam, but they make them in a very special way. So a lot of traditional knife patterns have gone by the wayside and been replaced by modern tools. And one of those is like the Scout knife. This is a very old school thing that Cub Scouts used to have. I used to have one. It was technically my first knife, but I don't count it because my brother got it confiscated at a jazz game 2 weeks later. But this thing's really cool because it has the bottle opener, the can opener, and then on this side we have an awl and we have a blade. These were traditional, however, Swiss Army knives came along and kind of booted them, and then after that, multi-tools. And these sort of fell by the wayside. So Victorinox doesn't make them anymore, Case doesn't make them anymore, but Rough Rider, what I love about Rough Rider is they take all of these weird patterns that we haven't seen in decades and they make them back and they make them as good as ever. We got a nice 440A stainless steel blade here, so you're not gonna get Titanic edge retention, but it's gonna hold up pretty well. And then we also have bone, nickel silver bolsters. Rough Rider does a good job, and for its price, guys, $17. Getting you this old school tool and all the other patterns that you'd never see, you can have now because of Rough Rider. Love Rough Rider. Next up from Best Tech, we have the Bestekman Mini Dundee. This one's a new one with this red G10 handle, and its G10 is like a looser weave, so it has a bit more visual texture to it, which I think is fun. I always thought the Mini Dundee was a bit of a looker. It looks nice, has a nice slim blade. It's an EDC knife through and through that is good to look at, and I like how they're taking this textural approach to it, but still keeping it at a very affordable price. $42.90, very good deal. Deep carry pocket clip, and D2 on the blade, sorry. There's a lot of 14C28N swimming around now, and I'm not sure which blades have switched and all that. I do like this one a lot. I would carry this knife. I think I might grab a micarta one, but we still have those on the website as well. So check out all of your favorite Mini Dundees at bladehq.com. And lastly, we have a bunch of new ProTech arriving, including a bunch of stuff from the New York Custom Knife Show. And ProTech loves them some shows, and they love them some customs. And they always show up to these shows with the coolest stuff. So if you want to get a really limited run ProTech, I recommend finding them at a trade show, and I'd bet the farm there's one within driving distance of you that they will be at. This one's super cool because it's got this jigged bone handle. And jigged bone is something that's kind of reserved for traditionals most of the time, but here we have it on a Bob Terzuola designed, ProTech made tactical auto MagnaCut blade. Man, what a mashup of traditions. This particular knife goes for $560, but you'll find all of the cool new ProTechs available in the ProTech category at bladehq.com. Anyway, everybody, I'm getting thirsty. This has been a very long video of new knives. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Except for all of you good people who are still in the live. Sorry, we lost this in there. Man, that was a lot of knives. Woo. Not lying about that thirst thing. Are any new durable steels? So I guess my question is durable. What do you mean by durable? Are you thinking like tough? Yes, there are very tough steels that are coming out nowadays. And like in all categories, I guess. If you mean durable as in won't go dull, won't break, won't rust, yes. All of the above are getting brand new stuff. I do have some friends who know some people, and I do know some stuff. Just stay tuned. You're going to see some awesome stuff in the next couple of years. George, your brother is a jerk for getting that knife confiscated. Darn right he is. I've forgiven him. He's a good boy. He works for Deloitte now. He's way smarter than I am. But he did lose my knife. I hope he finds happiness wherever that knife ends up. Question for you, George, and it's a pet peeve. What is reverse about reverse flicking? Isn't it just flicking? Yeah, so let's see. Do we have a flipper up here? We do. So for flicking, I think people often call this a flicker tab if they're not integrated. However, for the reverse flick, I suppose you're right. I mean, if I'm going to flick something, I'm going to go bink, and here I'm going to go bink. Like it is, but we call it reverse because you're using the back side of the blade. I don't know. Coach Twin Dad, I wish I had a better answer for you, but as with all things in the knife world, sometimes it's just arbitrary. That's what we call it. For example, steel types. Nothing bothers me more than steel types that have no naming system at all. Like there's nothing in the name M390 that tells me anything about its composition. I just have to look it up. So you're not alone on this one. All right. Holes, I want holes to flick. Yes? Nothing, okay. A little late, but I made it, George. Henry G, welcome, welcome. I'm getting married in 5 weeks. I put a lot of knives on my wedding registry, fingers crossed. I hope you get them too, buddy. I have a friend who put on his wedding registry a belt grinder, did not get it. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, so we're gonna do the giveaway here. We have 4 items here, so I'm gonna need you guys to, there's gonna be a lot of comments for these things, so we'll talk a little bit of that. Context for the glass video. Oh, we went to a junkyard and did it. We just wanted to show off glass breakers, that's all. All right. Best job in the world you have there, George. I agree, I really love my job. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's do some giveaways. So, remember, we're giving away 4 SOS knives. These are really awesome. If you want to win this, you must be 18 years or older, you must live in the United States, and you must live in a jurisdiction that we can ship these to. So if you live in New York City or Boston, I don't think we can ship you an OTF. That is up to you to decide. I know that our order fulfillment team already has places they will not send stuff. So, if you win this and you are unable to receive it, we're going to give your knife away next week. So, I'm sorry. for all you people who live out there. Support knife rights, get those legalized in your areas. But for now, we are going to follow the law. So let's give this first one away. So this is from SOS Knives, and SOS is a distress signal. And it is ... .. because that three, that triangle or three things is a universal distress signal. However, SOS doesn't stand for anything. There was an acronym before it that was the go-to distress signal. What were those three letters? I'll give you a hint. The Titanic put them out while it was sinking. What three letters did SOS replace? Let's see if anybody gets it. Hey, H-E-Y, those are not the letters. Save our ship. Maybe that's what it is. Save our souls. Mayday. QCD, Quinn Simmons, you got it, buddy. QCD was the original three letters. So Quinn, looks like a couple of guys got it afterwards. Good job, Quinn Simmons. This one's the first one going to you. Let us know in the chat how you want to reach out. You want to reach out over email or Instagram. If you have to reach over email, then I need to let customer service know. Okay, let's see, we'll let some of these all flow in. And we'll see what else is going on. Okay, next up, let's do the next giveaway. So, the giveaway for the previous one is closed. If you want to win the next one, yeah, I'm gonna pull you on the video we just watched. By the way, as a rule of thumb, the giveaway on Monday will often come with information you learned in the video from the previous Friday. So make sure you're always watching our videos. My question is, what was the name of the campaign in which Cold Steel was chopping pigs and stabbing boots? It was 2 words, and they were trying to demonstrate beyond doubt that their knives could take the abuse. What was that campaign called? Let's see. Congrats. All right, anybody got it? Espada XL. That was involved in this campaign, but it was not that one. Wrong Dragon. Hot Dog. Abusive Farm. Proof. Okay, Ryan Lahara, you're close. I want the other word. Legend of Heroes, Cut Them, Hogs Beware, Knife Abuse, Desert Warrior, Let's Cut, Jimmy Slash, Torture Tests, OSI. Cold Proof, oh, that you're getting really close. Proof is the second word. What was the first word? I'll give you that. Help, Hogs Beware, Pig War, Apocalypse Proof. Okay, I'll take Apocalypse Proof. There was both Absolute Proof and Apocalypse Proof. Matt, our friend from Wii Sports Resort, or probably just Wii Sports, Matt, the guy that keeps beating me at tennis, you win. Matt, how do you want to reach out? Do you want to reach out over email or Instagram? Let us know in the chat. Man, good job on that one. Apocalypse Proof. What a throwback. Man, that was a good time. Absolute Proof, there's Eagleton Tech, but Matt already got it. Okay, let's let these cool down a little bit. And we got 2 more to give away. Man, there's a lot of giveaways. SOS really took care of us this year.
Tell us about SOS.
Yeah, so, I mean, we talked a little bit about SOS earlier. I don't know any of the people from SOS. I haven't been collaborating with them, but I've been impressed with their knives for the price. We talked about this at the very beginning of the video, but like, they feel good for about a $100 knife. You got aluminum handle. This action is dependable. It hits hard. You don't have any weird springy tinginess. It just sounds pretty good. And it doesn't really rattle either, which some OTFs do. And a D2 blade, well-performing, good blade, lock up and everything. I have nothing bad to say about this for $100. I think it beats the bread off of just about every $100 OTF out there. So if you want to get a quality tool, but you don't want to break the bank doing it for an OTF, this is the one for you. Now, one of you is going to get it for free though. So my next question involves this knife right here. This is the Tour Knives Jank Shank. This one has the CPM M4 blade. What did the original Tour Knives Jank Shanks blade have? What was that steel? What steel was the original Tour Knives Jank Shank made from? Let's see if anybody gets it. Let's see. See if these start flowing in. S35V, close. D2, nope. 250 was its price. 1095, 154 CN. Jorge, my man. Jorge. Got it. 154 CM was the first one. That's the one I see if you guys typed it first. The first one I see on my chat is Jorge with 154 CM. Jorge, congratulations. This one will be yours. Let us know in the comments how you wish to contact us, email or Instagram. Okay. 154 CPM. It was not 154. It was not CPM 154. Okay. Man, they're all flowing in now. Okay. All right, let's do this last one. Congratulations, Jorge. My name's George. I'm too white to have a J at the beginning, but I feel like we are brothers. All right, last one. Last person who's going to win this one is going to have to know. This is a hint that you might not have caught. You had to be listening very carefully. What is the name of the guy doing camera switch right here? Man, lol. Yep, I think I've said his name 2 or 3 times in this video. My cat's name is George. Gizzard Gary, congratulations. Chris, Kevin, Sarah. Sarah's not doing camera switch. She's actually the one talking to you guys in chat. Matt, Steve, Bob, Greg, Bill. Man, you guys are coming in fast. Pete Richards said Pete. Did somebody get it before that?
Ryan Noby said Peter.
Ryan Noby?
Ryan Noby.
Okay, I cannot. I can't find him on here.
It's after the capital G.
Okay, well, Sarah found you. Ryan Noby. How do you want to reach out? Do you want to reach out over Instagram or email? Let us know. Man, that was fast. You guys had so many names cranking out of here. Man, lots of Jeff. Has a Jeff ever worked with us? I don't think we've ever had a Jeff. Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on New Knives. This has been a lot of stuff. I'm going to get me a drink of water, and we've got a big shoot today to do. So I would recommend sticking around for this upcoming Friday's video. It is going to be a party. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.